Bristol.
Bristol?
Bristol.
Bristol?
Is there like a new chant or something?
There's something I made.
Okay.
Hey.
Weird noises about Bristol. Okay. So I'm Lubka. I'm gonna be your chair for today's elections. Oh, thank you guys. So just to run you through like the overall agenda of the conference. So we're starting now. The elections. Sorry. So we're starting now. I'm gonna like introduce myself briefly, speak a bit about my experience in AIESEC. And then afterwards, we're gonna just do a bit of like run through like behaviors and sort of, well, I don't want to say rules, but sort of like things how it's gonna be done with the speeches. And then the candidates are gonna come in one after another. So we have 3 candidates in total. Their speeches are 7 minutes long. The way the candidates are gonna enter is that they will enter and like go to the back and then come through the corridor to the front. So it gives more sort of a hype to them rather than just coming up on the stage. But we'll run through it later on. After the candidates are done, they're going to have a little break whilst we ask you guys to submit us questions that you want to ask them during the Q&A. So if you already have some questions in mind, it's brilliant. If you don't, probably during the speeches something comes up that you want to ask. So keep it at the back of your mind, but obviously listen to the speeches. Afterwards, we do the Q&A. We have a couple of questions from the EB. We have a couple of questions from you guys as well. After the Q&A, we have the voting, where we will give you like a slip of paper where you put your preference, so 1, 2, 3, who you want to be the next LCP of AIESEC Bristol. Yeah? Cool. So I know how is like the energy level in the room. I think everyone looks very serious and sorry?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we need to sort of like relax a bit, like take the tension away, because I know it's pretty like tense atmosphere to have like all the candidates and the stress and LCBs. So if you guys wouldn't mind, like standing up for a second, and everyone turns to their right, and gives a massage to the person in front of them. Okay, come on. Relax the tension, guys. Relax the tension.
Dream, stop moving forward.
They're streaming on
Dude. Careful.
He's going to be so famous on the live stream.
So
We're just seeing like. So on the camera, we were just seeing you, Rasan, Dom.
So very important question: who is like a really good master? What did you find out? Who can move their hands very well? Sophie? Anyone else? Yeah. So if you know, keep it in the back of your mind as well. We're going for social afterwards, so you might want to approach the people who are really good at massage. Cool. So as mentioned, I'm going to be your chair for tonight. I hope you guys bear with me. I'm quite an approachable person, so please don't be afraid. So just to speak a bit like briefly about my who am I? So I come from Slovakia. You can probably hear the accent. It's kind of weird. So I'm Slovak, which is like in Europe. For those people who don't know, people still ask me questions. So I grew up there all the way until I was 17. And then once I turned 17, I got accepted to go and study in Thailand. So that's where I finished my high school. I don't know if any one of you guys did IB, the International Baccalaureate. We feel the pain.
I suffered.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I came to the UK to study. But when I was younger, I was actually really keen on maths. So I used to be one of those geeks, you know, those people who like do extra maths classes, and I used to go to like camps where we would just solve problems, and I don't know how, it was so much hype. But I sort of discovered that maths is not something I want to do for the rest of my life. I started like learning languages and do things, like a bit more just the maths. And that's where I found myself now. So I'm currently studying law in Southampton, at the University of Southampton. I actually handed in my dissertation yesterday, so so I'm really excited about it. And besides the fact that I'm kind of like engaged with AIESEC, I'm doing my studies. I also really fell in love with running. I recently ran a half marathon in Bournemouth, which was like October. And I was like, okay, I want to back on it, so I get back on it. So I signed up for another half marathon in London that I'm going to run in October. So good luck to me. Why did I do it? I never understand. Like, I just keep going back for more pain. So in terms of my AIESEC experience, actually, I was thinking about it on the train here, and it's kind of really tied up with Bristol. So this is a picture from my first conference. You can't really see it, but it's the only picture I could actually find, which is kind of tragic. For my first conference here in Bristol, and it was Southern Rocks. So I know some of you guys went to Southern Rocks this year. So that was my first conference when I was a member as well, and it was fantastic. I kind of didn't get it at the beginning. I was like, why are people dancing? You know, the usual, everyone goes through it. But after some time, like, I really loved it, and I was really glad to be in Bristol. Like, everyone was so hospitable, and everyone, like, people are just really nice, and I just really loved the local committee. And then later on, actually, I did another conference, which is the TTT, the Train the Trainers. If you guys ever heard about it, so we kind of teach people how to become trainers, how to facilitate conferences, and that was also in Bristol. And who was the OCP for that conference? I don't really know. Yeah, so it was Sophie, so it was really nice. I knew, I was waiting for her to give me, you know. No, I knew. Wait for the rest of it. So because Sophie went through this experience with me when she was OCP and I was a delegate. And actually, my first FASI experience ever was in Germany with Sophie, when we went to FASI together. Very interesting experience indeed. The Germans. Oh, no one's watching yeah.
Oh no.
No Germans in the house. Yeah, so this is a picture from my TT actually. Oh my god. Is this your? Yes. Cool. And then actually I was very fortunate to get elected as VP OGX. So something that Grace is actually doing right now, like she's running the OGX in Bristol, and that was the best year like of my AIESEC experience by far. Like none of the year ever topped it. It was just really nice. Like I loved it. I loved working with my team, and we did very well in terms of results and in terms of quality, and it was yeah, I just really I loved it. So I went through the election process back then. And it was pretty intense, as you guys probably know, and like you'll see it on the candidates how stressed they are. And then afterwards, I was sent on like a seat, MC seat. So when you go and like work with other like AIESEC entities in South Africa and Botswana, we just together with actually Liz, who's currently on the MC. It was very interesting, kind of a bit upsetting in a way. So I nearly quit AIESEC afterwards actually, which was very weird for me. But we learned from our mistakes, we learned from things. So I persevered, I stayed, and I actually went to France for a year abroad. So I did Erasmus. I don't know if any one of you guys is doing like a year abroad somewhere. If you're not sure, do it. It's the best year ever. You do nothing. Literally, it's the best year doing nothing. It's the best. Oh my god, I miss it so much. All you do is and you get money from the European, like from the EU as well for it. So what else can you do? I'm promoting it very well. So I went to France. I joined AIESEC France there. So I went to a couple of conferences and later on like helped them to deliver the summer exchange. So they had the peak in summer. So we're like matching the EPs with foreign countries. So that was in France. It was quite different, like the French delegates. I don't know whether it was like my accent or like in general the way they are. But for example, during conferences, you know how in the UK you get like smiles and nods and everyone's really like engaged? The French delegates would sit there, straight face. Nothing, no emotions, nothing. And I'm just like, what's wrong? Like, they don't get it? Or like, am I speaking too fast? Or like, is my accent? Or like, is it me? Or like, what's wrong? It's just the way they are, because they really sort of like concentrate and try to like, they think whilst speaking. This is how it was explained to me. I'm not really sure that it's true. So it was a very interesting experience. And I sort of trained at their conference, and then I went to train at a conference in Slovakia, because I sort of wanted to like connect with my roots and that stuff. AIESEC in Eastern Europe is very, very different. It's very much results. So I was like, yeah, fluff, and you know, we love each other. Like, what? So it was again very interesting to see. I keep bitching about other entities. I keep
Don't
forgetting
worry, you
about live
already
stream.
got the answer.
Sorry?
You already got the answer.
Yeah. Tomorrow everyone's gonna sign, you know. Okay, so afterwards I also went to Belgium where I facilitated a conference which was like for Belgium and France. Again, the Belgian delegates, they're quite funny. They're actually quite like hyper and stuff. And there were some Dutch delegates. So if you go to a conference, which I don't know if one of you guys have been to like an international conference. Yeah? I don't know if you came across the Dutch delegates.
Yeah, they're really hyper.
They're just crazy. They're just crazy. They have this like drinking game they get you to do, which is like different types of alcohol which are colored in the colors of the Dutch flag. And in between, like once you have a shot, then you have to spin, then you have to do this, then you have to do that. It's just, oh my goodness. They call it, I know, some challenge. It's, yeah, quite intense. They also went to Germany, fasted there as well. But actually, like one fast experience throughout that year really stood out, and that was when I fasted in the UK. So we organized the first like international trainers. So we didn't just have delegates from the UK, we had delegates from like Netherlands, some from Italy, Poland. It was really nice to organize a conference for people outside of the UK. And it was that fast experience that sort of really, I sort of learned or discovered I'm really passionate about training, and I really love to like, do TTTs and teach people how to become trainers. So logically from that flows, they applied to be on the NTT, and I'm currently coordinating the NTT in the UK with these 3 lovely people. And we organized like one TTT like a couple of TTTs so far. One of them actually, Shiv and Grace were the delegates, so it's really nice for me to see them like applying and standing up to be the LCP today. And I'm also currently on the ICB. I know probably not many people know about it, so we sort of make sure the quality of the exchange programs that we deliver are kept, and that people don't break the rules. You know, like sometimes you rock up to some countries and then it's like, so there is nothing for you to do, and we're like, no, this shouldn't be happening. So that's what we try to make sure that entities act responsibly, that they're not, you know, nasty to people. And also recently, like a month ago, I got elected onto the UKMC. So next year I'll be working with these 3 lovely people, and currently we're actually recruiting the rest of the team, so that's very exciting. We had quite a lot of people, I don't think I can say the number, but we had quite a lot of people applying, so it's really interesting. Like there is, you know, so many people from outside want to come and work for the UK, for AIESEC UK, so that it just feels really nice that, you know, these people want to come spend their time and work with you guys next year. Yeah, so that's kind of like run through my experience. It's kind of varied. Like I joined like ages ago, so I'm kind of one of those dinosaurs. This is my 4th year in AIESEC. So yeah, so if you guys want to speak about some opportunities and stuff I spoke about, like we have some breaks, so come and talk to me if you're interested in TTT or like OSING and stuff like that. So in terms of the actual, like how the election is going to be run when the candidates come in. So we're going to have one after another. Coming in, they go through over there and then come back through the corridor. Yeah. So I know if some of you guys have ever like run for a position or ran for something or like applied for something. Did you ever apply for like a job or like an internship or yeah? And how does it feel when you apply for something? I still a note from there. Do you feel like terrified or do you feel scared or no? Nervous? Yeah. Anything else? How do you guys feel?
Don't want to get rejected.
You don't want to get rejected. Yeah, exactly. So you feel very like sort of self-conscious. You try like yeah, definitely.
You want people to listen to you.
Sorry.
You want people to listen to you.
Exactly. Yes. You want them to like understand your views. You want them to. You want the interest from them as well. Pavan, how did you feel when you applied?
Pretty scared.
Scared? Mm-hmm. How does it feel to like stand up here and speak to everyone?
Probably the scariest thing in life.
Exactly. No, but it's true. It is true because what you do is you put yourself in a position where everyone's watching you and like you have nowhere to hide. You can't be in the back row being like, oh, whatever, I don't care. It's more about like you exposed to everyone, and it's very vulnerable actually. So I want you guys to sort of bear this in mind when people come in and when they deliver their speeches. So we all know that like in AIESEC we do this whole parades, like everyone comes in, we do high fives, and everyone's really excited. But I want you sort of to remember, like throughout the speeches, make sure that it's not just the entrance that it's amazing. Like whilst the candidates are speaking, try not to be on your phones. Try and listen to them, and try and even Even though your mind might I don't know, wander off, try and like keep an eye contact. Also, if you guys can, like try and give them a like an affirmative nod and be like, yeah, because it really, really helps when you're up here to see that people interact with you. Try not to be the French delegates, please. Yeah, so try and be nice throughout their speeches. At the same time, try and like give the energy as well. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna try and like run through how it sort of feels like when the person comes in. So can I have a volunteer, please? Anyone? Yeah, Andrew. So we'll have Andrew, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have Andrew coming in from the outside. Just come in. I don't want to mess up anyone's name. Yeah. So he's gonna come in. So he's our fictional LCP candidate. He's gonna come in, walk the way, yeah. And then you guys have to give him like the loudest possible round of applause. And I want to see people standing up on the chairs, going crazy, waving your hands, shaking, shouting as loud as you can. I think we can in the building. Oh yeah. So if you can get some music up as well. Yeah. So wait, we're gonna wait for the music. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, guys. So give it up for your number 0 candidate for the LCP of AIESEC Bristol 2014-2015. Thank you very much. It's like, do you want to do a speech? Cool. So that was good. That was really good, but let's try and be a bit like more, more out there. Like I know it's evening, everyone's tired, but let's just try and give our best. Because these candidates are, like I can guarantee, they're nearly shitting themselves next door. And you want to make them feel welcome. You want to make them feel engaged. You want to make them feel that you are here for them. So let's try and like be as loud as we can. And at the same time, if I can ask you guys for a favor, when they come up here, don't just stop clapping. Like keep going until the point that they're annoyed. Yeah, but it's quite nice because you sort of have that sort of couple of seconds to yourself to think about, this is how I'm going to start my speech. And at the same time, like, it gives you so much energy. You don't realize how much energy the audience can give you until you stand here and, they smile and everything. So I try and keep going the claps and the cheering and the shouting and everything you can, all the way until they're up here. Tommy probably wants to run for us. How are you? We're ready? Yeah. Okay, so shall we go in like, are you ready to start? Yeah? Okay, yes, get them ready.
This is outside door.
Sorry?
This is outside.
Oh, he's just here. Ah, okay.
Aegis, I good? Aegis, you good? Yeah?
It's just like silent.
Sorry.
Phone is silent.
Ah, okay. Can you guys, everyone put their phone on silent as well? Just so that no one brings this stuff. Your boyfriends, girlfriends, mothers, fathers, children.
Children? Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
I know your boyfriend wants to call you.
You might have something. Cool. So what are we gonna do when the candidates enter? Cheer. Yeah. What else? You're gonna shout. Yes.
Eye contact, engagement, everything.
Yes. We give them yes. Yeah, we go as loud as we can. I don't think anyone else is in the building. Yeah. No. So just imagine this is like a fictional party, okay? And you're going crazy. The music is loud. People are, cheering. Don't take it too literally that it's a party. Okay? Still elections. But please, like go. Give them your energy. So we have the first candidate ready. So, AIESEC Bristol, are you ready? Yeah! Get up from your chairs and give it up for the first LCP candidate of AIESEC Bristol 2014-2015, James!
LCP at Bristol 14-15, and what I want to do is to change the future. You listen to the song?
No.
Oh well. The song was "Get Lucky" by Daft Punk, and I quite like the lyrics in it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So we've come far this year as a society, culturally, financially, everything like that. We've come so far this year. And let's raise the bar. So let's raise the bar. Let's give a new direction. Let's raise the bar. So let's talk about me. Sounds a bit arrogant, doesn't it? But yeah, let's talk about me for a bit. So I've realised that some of you guys are obviously not part of AIESEC or have been part of AIESEC in the past but don't really know me. So yeah, so this is me. Yeah, that's me as a kid. I still have the same hairstyle for some reason. I know someone told me today actually like a stretched out version of that as well, which is quite strange. So yeah, that's also, this person here is my twin. So this guy's very inspirational to me. He's a medical student at the University of London, and he spends all his time, looking after people, saving people's lives. He actually saved someone's life the other day, and I just respect this guy so much. And obviously, we really like dancing together as well. So yeah, and here's my family as well. So it's my whole family eating Christmas dinner this year, and that's my sister. She is she works for a charity for autistic children, and that's my brother. He's just really annoying. So yeah, that's just a bit about my family. I also really like drama as well. If you didn't already know this, I was into drama. I did drama for 8 years of my life, and it's just really helped me with my confidence. And also, I'm a civil engineer as well. I love the Clifton Suspension Bridge. It is amazing, that bridge. It's designed by Brunel, and it's just fantastic. Oh yeah. And yeah, this is me when I did drama. I nearly won an Oscar for that performance, but I lost to Daniel Day-Lewis, so. Yeah, so my AIESEC journey. So this is my AIESEC journey so far. Global Village. So I was the OCP for Global Village. It was one of the most defining leadership experiences of my entire life. It really taught me everything you need to know about leadership, communication, just generally speaking to people. That was something I found really difficult, the communication part. Asking people if they need help, asking people if they want stuff done for them, etc. Just really being there for people. So I chose to wear a blue suit because I thought to myself, if I'm going to be part of this group, I've got to really show that I can be out there and be part of it. So I decided to put on a blue suit, be part of AIESEC. This guy looks pretty concerned. You probably saw the definition. There was quite a lot of definition going on, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so that's one of the major experiences. ICX. ICX has taught me so much in terms of sales, in terms of actually being out there and actually getting experience in personal development. So this year I've actually managed to secure 3 meetings. One was actually 2 weeks ago. And it really helped me, just gain confidence in myself, something I sometimes lacked. And it's just really helped me in my life. And LDS. LDS was a defining experience as well, because it kind of consolidated all the stuff I'd learned in the past 6 months and really made me think about what I wanted to do in the future. And that future seems to be what I thought was AIESEC Bristol. Yeah, that was us. That was us at LDS. We came 3rd in the boat race. Congratulations, guys. That was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed myself. So, what's my vision for this year? So, culture. Culture. So yeah, I realised I didn't really have much culture. This is where I was born, this is where I lived for most of my life, and that's where my ancestors are from. So yeah, not much culture. So I decided I want a little bit more about culture. And so I came to AIESEC because it's a very cultural place. Personal development. I wanted to make myself better. I didn't realise I didn't have much on my CV. I wanted to make myself better as a person. And I think AIESEC could provide me with that. Values. I really assimilated with the values of AIESEC. The values are very important for me. So my vision for AIESEC, lads. Like I'm thinking, we're all lads out there. We're all lads. Yeah, thank you very much. So for that, it's different, you know. Well, these guys are lads. I know these guys are lads. Especially Yoko and Sharan getting drunk out of the ass. But it's leadership, awareness, development. That's what I mean about leadership. How do we find leadership in AIESEC? Creation of events, creation and innovation is a way of leadership in AIESEC. How do we provide that? Well, people come to me and say, you know, I want to create an event. Is it good? Yeah. Then I'll let them do it. Awareness of everything, brand awareness, financial awareness. You know, be transparent in the organisation. People understand what's going on. And development of each of our members, because each one of you should develop by the end of your time in AIESEC in any way that you want. And this all equals success. Success for AIESEC. And success for AIESEC Bristol. And the success we had this year, I think we can repeat that, and in different ways and in better ways. So final thought for you guys. Just lollipop. This is a lollipop moment for me. If you don't know what a lollipop moment is, it's a time where it defines your life, and it changes your life. And the thing I thought was a lollipop experience as well, because these swirls are the everlasting experiences that you have in AIESEC. And the sweet thing. Thank you very much.
Cool. I'm loving the cheers, guys. I told you well. Cool. So before we have the second candidate coming up, I'm going to tell you guys a bit about when I told you that I got VPOGX back in the days. Is anyone of you actually running for VPs? Yeah? Yeah? Woo! And actually, quite interestingly, I didn't just apply for VPOGX, I actually applied for LCP as well. So I ran for LCP of AIESEC Southampton 11-12. But obviously, as the story tells you, I didn't get it. And I think I was kind of, I don't know, disappointed with myself. Oh, just the drama moment. So I think I was kind of disappointed with myself in a way that, I really wanted to get this. You know, when you really, really want something and you do everything you can, like you submit your application, then you do all your speeches and everything, and you really want to get something, and then suddenly, like, they pour the water over someone else. And it just feels, it's one of those moments that you can't really define, like, you can't put words on it. But one thing you always have to remember, and I'm a massive, like, I love quotes, that's something you should know about me. So there's this quote which says, if one door closes, another one opens. But like so many times, we don't actually notice this new open door because we keep looking at the closed one for so long. So I kind of paraphrased it. It sounds more powerful when it's in the original version. But what I want to say there is, if something doesn't work out, or if the opportunity or something that you really, really wanted doesn't work out the way you want, it's very important to move on. Because there is no point like dwelling on old experiences. So for some of you guys, and obviously like we only can have one LCP in AIESEC Bristol, and probably the number of VPs is limited as well. Try and think about, you know, okay, I didn't get this role, but what else can I do? How else can I get engaged in AIESEC? There's so many things that you can do, so many opportunities and so many different types of experiences that sometimes probably not getting what you wanted is even better than actually getting it. So looking back at my experience, I would never, ever, ever want to be LCP back then. Like, I just loved my role, because you just find yourself doing, like, I just love objects. So you just find yourself, you know, talking to students and actually sending students on exchange and changing their lives, which sounds a bit like, oh, fluff. But when you actually do those stuff and you actually get people messaging you over the summer being like, I'm having the time of my life, thank you. It means so much to you. So it's very, very important, like in your life as well. And I'm sure you guys identify with it. If you apply for internships or if you apply for jobs when you're graduating and you get those rejection emails and you keep getting them and getting them, and it's very difficult. Like I have many of those, and I was just like, fuck you, like come on, why am I not good enough? But it's just like, you know what? You always have to tell yourself your loss. Is the company's loss, or is the NGO's loss, or is the loss of the person? Because you know, like, you have to believe in yourself and be sure. Okay, whatever, next door, and I'm gonna go. So I'm just gonna check whether we can everybody. Cool. So also in terms of like the candidates when they are running and afterwards, make sure you guys remind them these thoughts after the elections, because obviously there will be one very happy person and two people less happy. So make sure tonight or like throughout the week and stuff, talk to them and tell them, okay, what else can you do? So try and help those candidates as well, and the same goes for the VP selection afterwards. Cool. So we have the second candidate ready. I'm just going to double check so I don't think the wrong thing. So we have the second candidate ready. So guys, at least as wild and as loud as we were last time for James, yeah? So are you ready, AIESEC Bristol, for a second candidate? Give it up for the second candidate, for the LCP of AIESEC in Bristol. Great!
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm your LCP candidate for AIESEC Bristol 2014-2015. So, as most of you new members will probably know, I'm pretty obsessed with cards, especially cute ones like these. But what some of you may not know is that actually my passion lies in music. So, ever since I was a child, I've loved playing the piano, and I've reached grade 8 now, and I absolutely adore classical music. And what I find great about music is that it captures your imagination in an amazing way. And more importantly, it brings people together from all walks of life. And this is exactly what AIESEC does too. So one of my first memories as an OGX member was when Jackie, my VP OGX, led us in our role called Shine On. And I remember feeling so enthused, and this ignited my inspiration for this organisation so much. And from that point on, I attended every single conference available to me and participated in all aspects of the marketing pushes, one of which was our flash mob. Here we are, we're looking sexy, doing the Gangnam Style pose. I know you're jealous. And I really believe that it's the close friends that I've made, together with the experiences that I've had in AIESEC, that have shaped me not only as a person, but as a leader today. So, last summer, as many of you may know, I went to India on GCEP exchange, and this really helped me to understand the value of exchange that we deliver to our exchange participants, and it motivated me as a VP OGX, newly elected, to ensure that we deliver high quality and quantity of exchange, for which we were recognised this year when we were awarded the OGX Excellence Award at LDS. This would not have been possible without my EV and the support that they gave me. These group of people are some of the most inspirational, hardworking and dedicated people I've ever had the opportunity not just to know, but to become good friends with. Outside of my function, I've been able to engage in one of my other passions in AIESEC, which is training, where the lovely Luca and her team of national trainers trained me in designing sessions with a view to delivering behavioural change in individuals so that it can influence not only their actions but their decisions within and outside of AIESEC for the future. And this really drove me to put these learnings into practice, where I fancied and delivered sessions at LPS this year. But now I talked about my experiences and why, not just in our exchange programs but our leadership programs, I believe, fully equipped to take on the role of LCP next year. I'm sure some of you are wondering, well, actually, where does she want to take it? What direction does she want to take AIESEC Bristol in 2015? So, I want to share with you my vision. I believe that this year, as AIESEC, an entity in Bristol, we have done a successful job in creating a platform for growth and development. For example, by introducing these new events such as Youth to Leadership and Global Village. However, we are still posed with one problem, and that is the lack of understanding of our organisation by not only students but companies. So, what am I going to do about this? I believe that we need to change the face of AIESEC. We need to change how AIESEC is branded to students and companies so that we're not only seen as just another society for students, but we are seen as an integral part of university life. But how will I do this? So this is AIESEC's mission set for AIESEC by AIESEC International for 2015, and it says to engage and develop every young person in the world. And I strive to do this by ensuring that every student in Bristol knows and understands the value of our purpose. And I want to tap into AIESEC on 3 levels. I want to change AIESEC Bristol locally, nationally and internationally. First, locally. So I want to create our reputation. I think that the way we're marketed to students is excellent in the sense that they can see that we're a professional-based learning environment. However, students don't understand that it's actually fun to be a part of us too. So people might see us a lot like Grumpy Cat here, where we're all about the profession, we're all about the business experience, but we're not actually about the fun, so I want to change that. So that's on a local level. On a national level, I want to implement more networking, right here in Bristol, where we can bring in local and national partners that we've developed via Accenture and STA Travel to help translate our ICX activity into results. And finally, on an international level, I want to change how we exchange by increasing both outgoing GIP through creating LC partnerships and implementing incoming GCDP. So, I talked to you about my AIESEC experience and how I see AIESEC in the future. I just want to leave you with one quote. And this is from my favourite film, The Lion King. Big surprise, it's got big cats in again. So it says this: remember, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And I today am taking a single step in becoming the new LCP. My question for you is, will you join me? Thank you.
Funnily enough, who of you guys have been to LDS? That was who I ended up my speech on. Let me tear up a bit. Good old memories. Cool, so we have one last candidate coming in. So I know it's quite, tiring for you guys to be like cheering and stuff, but let's just try one more time. So we're gonna have the last candidate to come in, which surprise, is gonna be Shiv, I guess. Cool. So I'm not sure whether we have someone ready or not. So if you guys bear with me, I'm just gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you more stories if you don't mind.
We call him Samko.
Samko. Why do you guys call him Samko?
This is real name.
Okay. I know what stories behind it, but anyway. Cool. So are you ready? Cool. So let's just give it up for the last candidate. So guys, all the energy that you have left, this is the time to transmit it to the last candidate. Yeah? So please, AIESEC Bristol, for the last time, give it up to your third and the last candidate for LCP of 2014-2015,
fellow AIESECers, and all our guests. I'd like to begin by saying that it is an absolute honor and privilege to be standing here in front of all of you with this amazing opportunity. I'd like to use this opportunity to tell you a little bit about my life. I was born and brought up in India to two very loving parents. As a kid, I was super energetic, always running around. I think I still do that.
Yeah.
One of the key things I remember when I was growing up was that my family moved around a lot because of my dad's job, which meant I ended up studying in 6 different schools. This was a massive advantage for me because I learned how to make friends quickly and learned how to settle into new situations quickly. Fast forwarding a few years, I joined AIESEC in India when I was 16 and a half years old, and this was through sheer luck because AIESEC doesn't normally take school students, but somehow I managed to get in, and it changed my life. At first, I was really intimidated because everybody there was at least 2 years older than me, taller than me, and all the guys had facial hair. But I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for those 2 years in AIESEC in India. I wouldn't have the confidence to travel to a different country by myself, and I definitely wouldn't have the confidence to stand here in a room full of people trying to explain my vision and my goals. Fast forwarding again a couple of years, and can I just say that I've been looking forward to this day for the last 143 days. 19th October 2013, the first day of Southern Rocks. I remember I was sitting back there, being a little know-it-all, trying to answer all the questions. And that was the day I learned my first lesson in AIESEC Bristol. It wasn't about how much I knew, it was how much of that knowledge could I share with others. How many people could I inspire? How many people could I influence? And how much impact I could have. And I stand before you today with exactly the same idea in my head. I want to make sure that all of you have the most enjoyable and fulfilling journeys in AIESEC Bristol as possible. I want to inspire, influence, and impact every single member of this local committee. And therefore, I would like to present my vision for AIESEC Bristol 14-15. Sorry. So this is my vision, but it is built up on 3 key underlying ideas. My main vision for AIESEC Bristol is that it grows consistently based on the continuous development of its members. It's about us, the member base. That's where it all starts. I felt that often this year, we've had this feeling that we are working within the organization for the work's sake. I want to ensure that whenever we do AIESEC work, we do it for the sake of the vision and purpose of the organization. Whenever we go out there to market OGX, whenever we go out there to practice for flash mob, whenever we make a cold call for ICX, we do it with the realization that we are changing the world through these tasks and also developing ourselves in the process. Lastly, I want us to have a fun culture within the organization. I truly believe that every single task that we do here, we can do it with fun and with passion, and that's what I hope to achieve. Building on this, I want to focus on the creativity. I want to focus on innovation. And I want to do that at all levels. I want all members to be involved in the strategic planning and in the responsibilities that we delegate to our members. And this is something that I have tried to show through my LC structure. By creating a more extensive LC structure and delegating more responsibilities to teams, I hope to achieve more innovation from all members and also at the same time develop leadership skills at all levels of this LC. So this is my strategy and my vision. But what is AIESEC to me? AIESEC is about developing ourselves, it is about changing the world, it is about having a positive impact. But it is more than just that to me. AIESEC is a place to meet new people. It is a place where you make friends who last a lifetime. And it is a place where people will believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. I look across this room and I see people who I didn't know 5 or 6 months back who are now some of my closest friends. People who probably didn't know me as well but still supported and encouraged me at every step of my journey. People who I may not talk to as much, but I admire from a distance, and I admire their work ethic, their knowledge, and their ideas. And this is what AIESEC brings to me. I want to go back to the quote that I wrote on the first page of my application. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. I truly believe that. I truly believe that every single member of this LC is powerful beyond measure. I truly believe that all of us have infinite potential. But sometimes we just forget that. And that's the greatest gift AIESEC has given to me. It's helped me with so many people around me who believe in me and have helped me realize some of that potential. And finally, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in me when I was unsure about myself. Thank you for supporting me when I didn't know what to do. And most of all, thank you for being my family away from home. Let us take AIESEC Bristol forward, build on everything that we've achieved this year, and take it to heights it's never seen before. Thank you.
Cool. So how is everyone feeling? Inspired? Confused?